up, my people? It's Joey Bags, and I've got another video for you today in the Camus C5 series of videos I'm doing. So, if you watched the other 4 videos that I did, they're all featuring the Camus C5 direct drive wheelbase, paired with the CP5 pedals from Camus also, which are out of shot, but I have another video, featuring them, so you can go back and take a look at what they look like. So this is the combo that's available from Camus themselves on their website. And it's about $300 or so plus shipping from China. So, you're probably looking at like maybe 3 something to almost $400. You can always use code JoeyBags at checkout if you want to go ahead and save a little bit money there. But also, if you do a quick search on Amazon, it's, I think, maybe still available on Amazon. That's the thing when it comes to Amazon. Sometimes you'll go in, you'll find something, and oh, great, it's there. And then other times you'll go and it's gone. But what I'm doing here is a series of videos about the Camus C5 and the CP5 pedals, since they are a bundle and work together, using a broke Ras1ution 2, a Ras1ution 2, connected to my consoles. So the first 4 videos I did or so were the C5 with pedals on the Xbox Series X. Now, as you see in front of you, is the Camus C5 with the pedals on PlayStation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in and let's see. Is it recognized? You know what? Let me change my main screens. Signal. So that way, there we go. Now I can actually see what I'm doing here. So let's see. Technically the controller, not this. So let's see here. Now it sees the Camus C5. So let's see what button works here. There we go. So what would be the A button or X button is what detected, and let's see, and there we go. I can go ahead and move through the menu with the C5 just as I would if I were using a regular controller. So now let's go in, because I know this is what everybody's gonna like. Does it work with Gran Turismo 7? Does it work with Gran Turismo 7? So, like I've mentioned before in the past on the Xbox videos, what the Ras1ution 2 does is it tricks the console into thinking what you have connected to it is a Logitech wheelbase. So in the case of the Xbox, it thinks it's a Logitech G920. In the case of the PS5, it thinks it has a G29 attached to it. So we'll go in here, go to world map. We'll go up and over. We can go to options. We can go to controllers. And let's see, does it have an option to tell us which one we're currently using? Steering control settings. Let's see. And as you can see in the screen, it reads it as a Logitech G29. Now you can see I'm turning the wheel, so it reads that. And let's see, pedals, accelerator, and brake. And yeah, so you've got to be pretty much normal with it. Now, if you're just a little too hard with the brake pedal when you're pressing it, as you see, it's reading, the reading is a little funky. That's only happening because of the Ras1ution. On PC, it's a rock solid, steady pedal press. But either way, let's see. Oh, it's not seeing a gear shift, but I don't need to do pedal calibration. On PC, it's rock solid and steady, but here on console, it's going through this device, and honestly, you really shouldn't be holding down the pedal that hard either way, because it is a Hall effect sensor pedal, like I've mentioned in the past. It doesn't rely on pressure. It relies on movement, really the angle of what you're pressing it. So, there's no difference between or should I say, you're not going to see an improvement if you're slamming it down super hard. As long as you're just nice and easy on it and you get that angle just where it's supposed to be at, for optimal braking, that's pretty much what to expect in a Hall effect sensor pedal. So that's really what you kind of have to figure out, is like, okay, how far, what angle am I holding my foot to have this pedal at optimum brake pressure, or what the sim determines what my optimum brake pressure, so that way, A, I don't lock up, B, I don't get into ABS. Because if you lock up, that's bad. If you get into ABS, it's better than locking up, but not as good as if you're able to just maintain a good solid hit on the brakes and then modulate out of there. Now conversely, with a load cell brake pedal, it determines what the pressure on the brake in the sim by how much pressure you put on the brake pedal itself. So in that case, it's going to be different. So you're not sitting there worrying about, oh, how am I holding my foot to get the correct angle so that way I'm getting the right amount of force in game to get the kind of braking I want. With a load cell, you just hold it down and you just have to remember how hard you're pushing it down and kind of build the muscle memory to repeat how hard you're pressing it. Now the good part is that companies like Moza, companies like PXN, and I guess you could say, well, Moza and PXN mainly, they have brake performance kits for their Hall effect sensor pedals. And what these kits do is they add a dampener with springs and elastomers to allow for a stiffer pedal feel. So where at this point, you're not relying on what angle you're holding your foot to get down that optimal brake. Having those stiffer springs and elastomer then trick you into, oh, if I push the pedal down this hard, I'm getting this kind of brake. So it kind of gives you the feel of a load cell while not being a load cell. Now, you don't get the same kind of accuracy and modulation as you would with a load cell, but it's as close as you can get without doing that major upgrade or major modification. So there's a plus and a minus to it. And quite honestly, if you don't have an option for a load cell like PXN, having a brake performance kit, that stiff dampener helps. Actually, I happen to have one right here. So I ordered this from Amazon, and I'm actually going to use this in the Camus pedals. So this will attach to the pedal. This side attaches to the pedal. This side attaches to the brake arm. This to the bottom part. And this makes a triangulation between the pedal. And as you press down, this spring and whatever hydraulics they may be using inside of this shock body stiffens as I'm pushing down. Now, I can also change the preload because of the threads that they put into the shock body. So I can turn this and preload the spring and actually make it for a heavier press. And in doing that, I can now simulate the effect of a load cell without having a load cell. Now, you're not going to get the same accuracy as I said, but this kind of does help alleviate some of that. And I'm hoping this does alleviate a little bit of that issue that I have with the Camus brake pedal. Now, so this is seeing that as a Logitech G29. So we can go to our Logitech G29. And if we can see the left paddle. So the left paddle, L1, we're going to change that to shift down. And we're going to go to the right paddle as shift up. So there we go. Now, brake and accelerator is handled by the brake and acceleration. The brake and accelerator pedals. So there we go. Now we are set. So let's go ahead and save this. And now if we go back to steering controller, and it's still not showing it, but I'm pretty sure in sim it will go ahead. So we see that. Let's go in. I'm in my Sylvia. Let's just get into a quick race. We're already at 10 minutes into this video, and I really didn't even want it to be that far. Let's see. We're gonna do Asia. You know what? We can do the Tokyo Highway. We're just gonna do a custom race. Central clockwise. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Lap, number of laps, number of cars. Hell no, not 20 cars. There we go. Let's see. I think everything else should be okay. Yep, I think that'll be fine. So now let's get into this custom race and let's see how the Camus C5 and the CP5 pedals handle Gran Turismo 7. And I can almost guarantee you that this video will probably be copyrighted because, you know, copyrighted. Oh, do I have it set on automatic? Let's see. Oh, no. I got it on manual and it's shifting up like I expected to. Ooh, the force feedback is really good. Okay, got to get used to the brake here and how this car is braking in this. But oh, all right. Not the best way to pass people, but so the paddles are working perfectly fine to shift. I have to say the force feedback is actually really good on this. I'm just detecting so I just detect some road the knots from the highway. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Okay. So let's go into settings real quick. Controller settings. Okay, so I got steering sensitivity at 0. Force feedback, I actually have that rather low. Let's turn this up to an 8. Force feedback sensitivity. Let's turn this up to a 5. All right. So let's see now what we have. Oh yeah, okay. So the force feedback is a little bit stronger than it was before. I know I've said that old adage of less is more works out in a lot of times. In this case, maybe a little bit more. So I think where I'm at right now is okay for me. I would probably play with it a little bit just to kind of see what would be optimal. But right now, it's feeling okay. It's feeling you would think I should already know this. I should already know this map. Alright, I'm getting accustomed to it. So yeah, I have to say, with just those few touches, the force feedback feels really good. Oh. You know, like I said, you can always go in. Force feedback is kind of a little subjective for some people. You know, some people like a little bit more, some people like a little bit less. You know, some are looking for a specific feel, so it's subjective. So you'll have to go in and play with your settings to kind of get it exactly where you want. But that worked out really freaking great. So, you know, the Camus C5 with the CP5 pedals on Gran Turismo on PlayStation, Gran Turismo 7 on PlayStation 5. We got a thumbs up on this one. I'll catch ya on the next video. Peace.
Yeah. Yeah.